Hi everyone, welcome back to another stream. Hope you're all having a good weekend. So we'll just get logged in. So just a couple of things while we get started. So a PSO video should have gone live earlier today, which is the start of the episode 4 lore playthrough, which covers the first part of Crater. So that will continue for probably the next couple of weeks, just while we get through episode 4. After that, then I'll decide what to do about episode 3 in regards to the lore playthrough. We may do that at a later time, because I still need to figure out sort of what the best way is to do that. Also, in regards to episode 3, I do plan on streaming it again some point within the next couple of weeks. So probably within the next 2 to 3 weeks on a Sunday stream, we'll play some episode 3. So if anyone's got any ability to play episode 3 online, you know, whether it be on GameCube, Wii, or whether you do it through the means, feel free to join us then. It should be within about the next 2 to 3 weeks. We do also, as LJP's just posted there, we do have a Discord that you can join as well. So we do play games off stream as well. So for today, I thought we'd just play some PSO for today. There is an event, well, it's not so much an event, but it's a change that they've made to PSU on Clementine recently. Now, it's essentially a way to improve the new player experience. I am planning on doing a video on that and streaming it as well. At the moment, it's only on the test server, so I'm probably going to wait until it goes actually live in the game, and then I'll probably do some content for PSU on that, because I would like to do a few more PSU videos as well. Outside of Phantasy Star, for the Wednesday stream, we are probably going to do one more for Monster Hunter World, because I would like to try and do Alatreon and Fatalis on stream if we can. If we can't, then it's no big deal, but if not. After that, we will probably switch it up a bit more. Hey, Drac. Yeah, I know I haven't done a PSU video in a while, so... And I think, honestly, we've done so much PSO recently that it's probably... I think some people probably appreciate the slight shift for a bit. So, for anyone who may not be familiar, the event has now ended on PSO, so we are back to normal rates, which kind of sucks. And this week is Rare Enemy Week. Is the new player experience update already out? The last update that I saw was that they had rolled it out, but only on, I think they've got like a second server, haven't they, where they do like test server. So they've rolled it out on the test server, but not on the actual live, as far as I'm aware. I checked that was a couple of days ago, so I don't know if anything's been posted since. Hi, Nicholas. Class guides maybe come back to PSO, baby. That is great to hear. Oh, thanks for that. And hi, Vector. So yeah, so this week we are on Rare Enemy Week. So I guess that's what we should probably focus on. Hi, Chenton. Just a reminder as well, I did say at the beginning of the stream, but we are streaming simultaneously on Twitch and on YouTube as well, so feel free to watch whichever platform you want to. Just one thing actually on the Twitch alerts, there'll be no Twitch alerts for this stream either, because the service that I use for the Twitch alerts has gone down. It's got some kind of issue with Flar at the minute, so that is not working at all. So there'll be no alerts, unfortunately, for the stream, so I am trying to keep an eye on them through Stream Elements as well, but yeah, the alert system I normally use isn't working at all. So I'll try and just check it periodically and just see if I can notice any. Hopefully they'll be working again for next stream. So plan for today, what is the RBR anyway? I actually haven't checked. Nothing ever goes wrong when 90% of the internet relies on Cloudflare. Exactly. Sweep up Operation 3, Lost Shock Rifle, and new Mop-Up Operation 1. I want to say that Lost Shock Rifle is Temple, but I could be wrong. Sweep up Operation 3, I'm assuming is probably Mines. And new Mop-Up 1, I would guess, is probably Crater. So I guess if anyone's got anything they want from a rare temple rare enemy, maybe that's the way to go. Yeah, we add this back to the normal boosts now, so they will just be like the 4-week rotating system now, like it normally is. Changing colour. Yeah, I did change. Yeah, I did change my 4 New Worlds outfit recently, yeah. Do you play on keyboard or controller? It's kind of a mix of both, honestly, for Blueburst. So predominantly controller, but for the sort of quick menu along the bottom of the screen, I use my keyboard numbers for that. But mainly controller. You can play on keyboard fine. It's just there are a couple of slight issues with the keyboard, but it is honestly pretty much playable on keyboard. $4.5 million experience on normal experience rate. Yeah, because you're level 1999, so yeah, you've got to the last level with normal experience rates. Yeah, that's gonna suck. You'll get there though. If you got to 199, you can get to 200. So yeah, we've got a couple of options. So we could do either a temple run if anyone's after anything in temple, and maybe snag some rare enemies along the way. Otherwise, we can run pretty much anything really, because there's no real rare drop boost or anything this week, so there's no real benefit to running anything specific, I guess. Which probably means that nothing's going to drop. Also, I should mention it, but if you do want to play with us at any point, we play on the Ephinea server, and it's on the European ship Limb Race, and it's Block 2, Lobby 21. So feel free to drop at any time, because we do play off stream as well. So I guess, do you want to just try out one of the RBR quests then, and just see what they're like? Because I'm not familiar with some of them. Does any ID here actually have a good temple? Assuming that Lost Shark Rifle is temple. Good to see some EU folk on there. I tend to just got the US ships since there's more players. Yeah, I mean, honestly, a lot of the time it is just good to go to Fodra, the US ship, because most of the players do congregate on there. Main reason I play here is because I'm obviously based in Europe myself, so it makes sense for less ping, especially when I'm streaming, so... You knew though, so what do you know? Honestly, you can play on either. We play mainly on Europe, but obviously you can just switch between them when you want to anywhere, so I will sometimes go to the US ships to get games, so just do whatever feels best for you. Kind of tired of Pinkle Temple. Green is Kamui or Rage the Glace. Kamui from Tor and Glace from Mill. Yeah, Pinkle probably is the best temple ID. Yo, I'll be lurking, but hope you've been well. Cheers, Tycoon. Yeah, I'm feeling a little bit better now. Red has Iritista and Crimson Court. Actually sounds pretty good, actually. I actually had no idea that Red Ray had a good temple. Hiya, Passion Flame. Yeah, my phone you well is Red Ray. The photon chair proved you wrong. Good to hear you're better and back at not getting items in PSO. I mean, that's how it goes, isn't it? I mean, especially not this week. There's no rare drop boost this week, so we will probably get nothing. Yeah, Skylight Temple is not great. I think Skylight Temple is basically Yasha and not much else. Well, I'll make a Red Ray game then. I know we've got 5 at the minute, so just whoever wants to join, and I guess just try and rotate around. Password, as always, is stream. Yeah, 100% experience, 100% drops. Not good after we've done the event. Overall impressions of the event, I think the event was really fun. I was definitely burning out on it a lot towards the end. I do feel like they need to change how the event works for next year. I see PSO by my favorite stream, my Sunday is complete. I appreciate that, dude. Yeah, I feel like the event worked reasonably well, but they do need to rebalance some things in it because everyone, as you know, just spammed Forest, which meant that we didn't get a lot of the unlocks. Have I made this in one person mode? No. Internet's bugging out, so apologies if you miss anything. It's like watching through a kaleidoscope. No worries, dude. You tell him, Sky. Yeah, I mean, I'm doing wrong. I mean, I get why people were running Forest so much. You know, it was really, really easy badge farm. You know, it was... I don't know where Minsk's gone. No worries. Yeah, it was obviously a really easy badge farm. It was great for hunting frozen shooters with hit or going for Heaven Punisher with blue full. It was great for Handgun Miller with white ale, so there was a lot of reasons to do it. But the problem is that because people ran it so much, we just didn't get enough points to unlock most of the unlocks. Shakes fist at PSO Forest Scrubs. Can't escape Forest. I couldn't even escape it in PSP2 either, yeah, because I did a PSP2 video last week and that also had Forest in it. You're in your own game, Minsk, okay. Been grinding on Horizon Zero Dawn's DLC area since Friday, so definitely get back into this. Yeah, honestly, I think since the event ended, I think a lot of people have sort of stepped away from PSO a little bit just because I think everyone was so burned out. I mean, myself included. I mean, I have played since the event, but definitely a lot less than usual. It's all those SGS runs was getting to me. Alright, so I guess we've tried to find out what this Lost Shock Rifle is. I think it's Temple. Yes, it is. Been grinding away at RuneScape. You've got a range from 5 to 33 this morning. Gonna start doing agility after stream. You seem pretty into RuneScape at the minute. You can't see the wood for the trees. Cease Forest. Do we think, are people allowed to run Forest again now? Since the event's ended? Or are they still banned? I think if I'm not nuking, then it's probably better to just use Glide. As nice as the TP reduction is on Psycho Wand. What is with Sega and Forests? Monday was the last morning you played. Yeah, I think, like I said, most people have definitely stepped down. I know people have been playing other games as well, though. So I know, for example, Draken's been playing a bit of Warframe, for example. Green Hill Zone. Right, well done. So, you know, as it's rare enemy week, tradition dictates that we'll get no rare enemies. I always forget how nerfed force feels in multiplayer. I can't even remember what the rappies drop, honestly, on Red Rear in Ep 2. I think that's rather rude, freezing me outside the room. Yeah, I think I have done this quest before, but it's been so long since I've done it, I cannot remember what the spawns are like. We have a 3082 Flower and Sword. Wow. Oh, we're back to Silence Claws, just the 23rd. I will make that thing, and Final Impacts. Yeah, I mean, I did some very hard recently, and we got, I think, at least one Final Impact from that, so it does seem that way. Also, Disco Braveman, because it's a Red Rear game, of course we get Disco Bravemans. No hit, unfortunately. 70 hit Disco Braveman one. Oh, hi. So we have a rare enemy. This is unprecedented. It did not drop Iritista. That feels almost illegal that we actually got a rare enemy in Rare Enemy Week. Who'd have thought it? And was that dye fluid? We need to check. Yes, it was. You got to play other games to give your mind some peace. Found that Yakuza games and Horizon Zero Dawn bring you joy like PSO does, but a different kind of joy. Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously, if you play the same thing over and over again, it does get old. You know, as much as I absolutely adore this game, you do need to take breaks sometimes. Blitz got a Q slow. I'm trying to think of a situation that would actually be useful in. When would I actually need to use a Q slow? Is there a situation where that is useful? SGS, yeah, actually, maybe, yeah. Yeah, I forgot SGS inflicts slow on you, doesn't it? Yeah, that is probably the only situation. Random, but you've been looking for a hit slicer of Fnatic and haven't seen even seen one in a day. Normal hard, very hard mines. I mean, even the glitchics and ultimate do slow on you as well. But I just find the majority of the time, slow just isn't really an issue. Then Monster Iceborne comes along and bam, instant pen by Alatreon and Rajang. Yeah, I mean, next stream we might try and do Alatreon. I mean, I've done it before. I've done Fatalis before as well. But I also know how difficult they are. Yeah, Falz does slow as well. The really weird thing about that, I don't know if you know, but the slow that Falz does in its second form, before it does the Divine Punishment, for some reason doesn't affect casts. I have no idea why that is the case, because every other slow does affect casts, but that specific slow doesn't affect casts. I have no idea why. PSO grind is real, even on the less rare items. Oh, it's cast privilege. Is that what it is, Drac? It's actually crazy how much faster I burn through my TP without using Psycho Wand. Glad Divine with TP consumption down when. I like to put some games on the bench to avoid burnout, so you pretty much do cycles and then eventually pick something new. I think that's probably a really healthy way of doing it, honestly. I'm too stubborn to use a soul there. I'm not wasting a soul on Miser on that. You still let Alatreon once we're back on the 3DS, but you're still scared of him on the PC. Yeah, he's scary in Iceborne. Divine is just too good not to use, though. For support, it's amazing, yeah. It's definitely one of the best force weapons for sure. When I solo, I don't tend to use it because I just tend to nuke everything with Psycho Wand instead. Just because, particularly with the Phony World, just having the big boosts to the Ratex is just so useful. So one bad thing about Phony World really is the fact that the boost that Phony World gets just are not that useful. The piece in Megid is, that's quite good in some areas. And obviously the double range on some of the support stuff is useful as well. But the boosts to like Foys on Day and Barter is just not that great, honestly. There's only a couple of situations I would really use it. That's a very sneaky spawn putting lilies behind there. I'm guessing that was an attempt to revive, but you used Telepipe instead. What weapons Vector using? Is it like a shot that fires like a mech gun? The gun he's using is one called Master Raven. So it's a handgun, but it shoots, I believe it shoots about 4 bullets, but it can't combo. It's only usable by males. And then there is another one called, I believe it's called Last Swan, which is female only, that can combo and also shoots 4 shots. Or 3 or 4 shots anyway. But with Last One, the attack power is a lot lower, but it's still really good. And you can combine them both together to make a mech gun called Jewel Bird. It's blue burst only though, which is probably why you haven't seen it. Oh, the one that looks like a minigun. Oh, this one here. That is the LNK-38 Combat. So yeah, it is a shot weapon that is also usable by hunters. And again, it can't combo, but it shoots about 4 or 5 bullets each round. So So it works quite well on classes like Hewcast because obviously Hewcast has a ton of attack power, so downside is because it can't combo, you kind of need to get one with hit if you can. You could probably get away with using one without hit, but it would help a lot if you could get one with hit. That's why I think 4 Mile is really good compared to that class. The high defense makes such a nice tank for teams that use Berserk. Yeah, 4 Mile's an interesting one, so I'm leveling one at the moment. And basically, at low level, they're terrible. Like, honestly, I feel like they're one of the worst classes at low level. But at a high level, they are such a versatile class. Fornuel, essentially, as much as I like Fornuel, at a high level, it is basically just like a worse Fornium. Because although you have more mental strength than a Fornium, you don't get any of the useful attack tech boosts. You only get Foys on Dame Barter. And I guess Pierce and Megad as well. That's the other thing as well. Obviously, literally any other force can get enough attack power to use things like Excalibur, whereas Fornuel doesn't. I do still like Fornuel though. Yeah, J Cutter is another one. I think one of the only weapons that Fornuel can use that is useful that isn't a tech weapon is, I think they do get enough ATA to use S-rank mech guns. So you could use, for example, Demon's mech guns with the Fornuel. You obviously get the higher ATA as well. I think someone said that actually. Fornuel can hit specials on tower easier than other forces. Yeah, for sure. So you can use things like Bringer's Rifle a bit better with Fornuel. Yeah, I do wish that Fornuel had some of the attack boost that Fornium has. Anti-range OP. They're amazing Ep4 farmers though. I mean, to be honest, pretty much any force can just demolish episode 4. You know, forces in general are just ridiculous in that episode. I guess it's a thing with PSO where like certain class archetypes are just better in certain areas. You know, forces are brilliant in episode 4, and they're pretty good in episode 1 solo. Episode 2, they are very mixed. They're great in the areas where stuff has low dark resist because you can just spam Megad, particularly with Fornuel. I mean, to be fair, if you're going to waste a Photon Blast, at least do the right one. How are you liking Phantasy Star Portable 2 so far? Honestly, it's a bit of a weird question because I have played it a lot before in the past. So this is my first time playing it in a long time. So it's probably been quite a few years since I played it last time. But I have played it through quite extensively in the past. I really like the game overall. I think Infinity in particular is probably one of my favourite Phantasy Star games outside of PSO. If you were to do a rundown of which class is best at what, then in that list, would you go skip Humar? Yeah, Humar has some problems. It honestly, I think if it was a more modern game, it probably would have been rebalanced. I mean, don't get me wrong, you can do stuff with the humor, but there are a lot of issues with that class. Just bonk the chows and the lilies. Devilman humor with all devil weapons. Yeah, I mean, honestly, if you level a humor, you can use them absolutely fine. It's not like they're inherently terrible. It's just that I found that other classes do a lot of things better than them. But if you want to play a humor, you can play one fine. Is it worth it to play PSP 2 Infinity on PSP or just emulate it on PC? I mean, I've done both. I would say that obviously you can get it to look a bit nicer on PC. I suppose it depends if you just ultimately if you like using a PSP or not. For me, I always found the PSP quite an uncomfortable handheld to use personally. So for me, I much prefer it on PC. You heard that the first PSP was more similar to PSU? It was. So, Phantasy Star Portable 1, I would pretty much describe it as PSU Lite. It basically is the majority of stuff from PSU. However, it does have its own story, and the story for PSP 1 is actually really good. But yeah, PSP 1 does play a lot more similar to PSU. They changed things quite a lot in PSP 2. For the better, I think, but PSP 1 is still worth trying. I like how I've just instinctively gone back to the Psycho Wand. But yeah, you do find that I think most of the classes do have particular places that do shine in. It's just for some reason, it kind of feels like they decided to nerf humor. And honestly, I feel like all they need to do to make humor a good class is just give it access to the support text. You know, I don't see any issue personally with giving humor level 15 shifter and D-band. It wouldn't make them broken or anything. What do you think about Flar? Flar honestly is probably one of the classes I have the least experience in. From what I understand, well, we need to get out of the way that Flar is blind, first of all. You know, Flar has some serious accuracy problems. But Flar is quite cool because it's a very versatile class. You know, you can tech pretty well. You've got some good boosts, some techniques, so you get boosts to the Gifoy, Gibata, Gizonde, which are, with the exception of Gibata, maybe they are quite useful techniques. But you also have the ability to use melee as well. So it is quite a cool class because if you come across enemies that are quite resistant to text, you can just switch up to melee. Dreamcast humor, yeah, exactly, yeah. I don't know why they changed it. That seems rather obnoxious. That you can just shoot me through that wall. You love that the PSP console, but some games were not made for the controller games, like Ghost in the Shell being at FPS. Yeah, I mean, I think the PSP console was a good idea at the time, because obviously Sony needed to expand into the handheld market. But just for me, I mean, it might just be a thing that's it's more a me thing rather than an issue with the actual console. But for me, I just find it very uncomfortable to use. Yeah, sorcery, yeah, exactly. Hacking the game to shoot through walls. Is PSP 2i only Japanese? Yes, but there is a full English translation patch for it now. Which is what I'm playing at the minute. Obviously, I'm only going through the base game at the moment, but I do have the English translation installed. But yeah, when it released, it was only released in Japan for some reason. PSP 2 got released worldwide, but for some reason, they just never released Infinity outside of Japan. It is emulated, yeah. Started leveling a 4-mar, and it's cool to just whip out a double save and use the special and get all your TP back. Yeah, double save, honestly, if you can get one, especially if you can get one more hit, is actually a really useful weapon for some forces. Later on, for classes like 4-mal, you can use things like Vivienne, which is essentially same special more or less, but much stronger. So you can actually use it to attack with as well. Was that another panic telepipe? I mean, if we're all doing it, I'll join in. You feel like the PSP was much better over the Vita? Honestly, I can't really comment on that. I never had a Vita. I think just a lot of the games that were released at the time just didn't really appeal to me, so I never really tried one. A panic pipe. Good old-fashioned fun of 4 players placing a TP in the same spot. Yes, you got the rainbow colour TP. Oh, it looks like Porkins is disconnected. I would imagine we're getting fairly close to the end, so we should be alright just to push on. No, both great consoles. It's a shame the Vita didn't get the love. Yeah, like I said, I'm not really familiar with the Vita at all. Vector got a flowers. Came out at a bad time. Handheld gaming was losing appeal. It's kind of interesting, isn't it? Yeah, there was that period where handhelds just weren't really that popular, and I kind of feel like we're coming back around to them again now. Obviously, you know, the Switch has been a huge success. You know, the Steam Deck honestly is doing pretty well as well. So I kind of feel like people have warmed up to handheld gaming again. Something that makes me laugh what the VR level is how they use the exact same assets for alpha and beta. Just phoned it in and said, just change the time of day, no one will notice. What controller do I use to emulate PSP 2? So I use a 8-bit door controller. I've showed this before, but it's just that one. Works absolutely fine. The emulator I use is one called, I think it's called PPSSPP. And it worked fine. It got detected by it straight away. You have a Steam Deck and play a PSOBB on it, and it's a perfect console for the game. Yeah, I know there's a few people that we've played with that play it on Steam Deck, and from what I can tell, it seems to work fine. I mean, there's not really any reason it shouldn't. I mean, you know, it's an ancient game now. Well, I haven't said that. Sometimes really old games have issues with modern technology, so... I missed. People enjoy playing on the go. Hope the Switch 2 or whatever the name will be actually good. Yeah, I mean, I'm reasonably confident with Nintendo, I think. I do wonder when they're going to announce it though, because I kind of feel like now is the right time. Especially after the Sony PS5 Pro debacle. I feel like it'd be the perfect time for Nintendo to announce the Switch 2 now, just to capitalize on it. You can tell I don't do tempo much with my force because I have no idea what they're weak to. And for once, I actually remember to bring a Q paralysis. Yeah, that didn't last long. You joining the Steam Deck Club next year? Hopefully, yeah. Nintendo NX hype. Yeah, NX... Was that... That was the code name for the Switch, wasn't it, originally? I think. Could be wrong. $700 for a console that you have to buy a disc drive for separately. Yeah, and the stand as well. Yeah, the stand for it is not included either. And they've also increased the price of the controllers by $5 as well. Was the code name. Switch 2 is actually called the State. Again, I love how one person goes the wrong way, so everyone follows the wrong way. Yeah, I must say, I haven't used my Switch much recently. I think the issue is I got it mainly so I could play Monster Hunter Rise. And then when that released on PC, I just started playing the PC version. There are a few games I play on it now and again though, and particularly if I go away somewhere, I do tend to take it with me. Well, it was largely an uneventful run, but at least we saw a rare enemy. Succeed Virtual Boy Nintendo. I think we can safely team point those. We can make a handheld to get more people engaged. The Nintendo N-Gage. Oh wait, yeah. Who remembers the Nokia N-Gage? Oh, we've got a banner. What is it? Raphael level 30 disc. Very nice. You loved your N-Gage. I think you may have been the only one. Yeah, I can't remember hearing anything good about the Engage at the time. I never had one though, to be fair, so I don't know myself. Yeah, this is like the start of the green takeover, although to be fair, Seal is Viridia. So we do actually have another Viridia now, which is good. Also, Remote is Viridia as well, actually. So we've gone from having everyone be Greenhill to now everyone is Viridia. Nintendo need to release Nintendo 65. So imagine having a Wonderswan. I've never had a Wonderswan, I can assure you that. You know what I don't get is how Sega had forgotten the aesthetic of PSOBB and then could not replicate that going forward in the further games like NGS. Just lacks something that PSOBB has. Honestly, I think, yeah, my main issue with NGS at the moment is just that there isn't much to actually aim for. You spend a lot of time in NGS just going for capsules and updating your affixes. There isn't that sort of constant drive to keep hunting things that there is in PSO. Obviously, the aesthetic is totally different as well. That's just going to differ game to game. But yeah, the aesthetic is completely different. There is virtually nothing between PSO and NGS, in my opinion. Need your phone to monitor both stream chats, so no RuneScape for you until later. Sorry, dude. Oh, your internet died mid-run. Oh, no worries. No, it happens. To be fair, it was Temple. I mean, it wasn't going to be a difficult quest anywhere, so yeah, no worries. Engage the console based off a design by a pissed off designer who wanted marketing to leave him alone, so designed it to look like, yeah. Yeah, it's not great. I remember it releasing and yeah, I don't think I knew anyone back in the day who actually bought one. It's the same as there was another handheld as well, which I'm trying to remember the name of. It was a massive failure as well. Is it the Gizmondo or something like that? I sort of have vague recollections of it. There was also the Ouya as well. Does literally anyone remember the Ouya? Yeah, there's Neo Geo Pocket as well, yeah. I've never had a Neo Geo, actually. There was a 10-year delay on content because Sega was stubborn. Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel that the only reason that PSO2 launched in the West was purely because of NGS going to be launching. I doubt that they were going to release PSO2 for the sake of releasing PSO2. I think given the 8-year gap, I think it was probably done as an exercise to build interest before NGS released. But you never saw a Z-bot. I've never even heard of that. Neo Geo Pocket Color was amazing. The little stick on it was actually great to use. Yeah, honestly, I've never tried a Neo Geo. I know a few people who are quite big into fighting games, and I know that they're quite fond of things like Neo Geos. You had a Game Gear because your aunt bought one, but thought it was bloody useless. Absolutely chew through batteries. Yeah, I never had a Game Gear. I had a Game Boy at the time instead. But yeah, I knew someone who had a Game Gear back in the day, and I do remember that it just ate batteries. You remember a Tiger Electronics Street Fighter 2? I think most people of a certain age probably had a Tiger Electronics handhelds as well. I remember I had one that was, I think it was a Top Gun one. It was either, I can't remember if it was Tiger Electronics, that one, or it was something very similar though, like with the horrible like LCD display. Getting back into PSO after nearly 15 years and videos have been super helpful, thank you. Oh, no worries. Oh, thanks for watching them as well. You had an R2-D2 Tamagotchi. I had some knockoff Tamagotchi. I think died after a couple of months because I just forgot about it. Street Fighter 2 and TMNT. So we can switch it up and do something else if you want. So we've done Red Reed Temple. So is there anything else anyone wants to try and go for? Poor Tamagotchi. Like I said, it was a fake one anyway. B801 from Pazuzu. Yeah, I'm down to do that. Which ID is that? Is it, I want to say, is it purple? Purple, yeah. Yeah, I mean, if someone wants to use a purple, that's fine. I mean, if no one's got one, I can switch to mine. Actually, I think, yeah, I was going to say, yeah, Pockins, Rex Sealers, Petal Nana. Yeah. There's at least 3. I know a few of us have a purple num. Yeah, I'm down to do an Ep4 run. Try and get a Pazuzu. To be honest, I could probably do with another V801 anyway for my full mal. I was going to set out to rotate if you'd rather get a purple sky. I don't mind. I'm happy if you want to join, or if you want to sit out, entirely up to you. You come to find out that the Neo Geo was worth like $1,000 back in those days. Still trying to find out what cheap handheld you had. I had a flip screen, dot matrix, and played Tetris. You found one on eBay for £20. Honestly, I love looking on eBay for like toys I used to have when I was a kid. I tend not to buy them, but it's really, really cool just to look up things that you used to have. Yeah, if you want to get your phone new, yeah, that's fine if you want to. If you're sure you're okay sitting out, Parkins. I love how there's like several people like, no, it's fine, I'll sit out this one. Everyone is so burned out on PSO, like, oh no, someone else can go. It's fine. Check off topic on the Discord. Let's have a look. Yeah, that is certainly something. You do then tell Mist not to switch out. Yeah, too late. Yeah, no worries, Mist. Yeah, if you want to switch, that's fine. It's entirely up to you. Yeah, speaking of the Discord, there's a link to it. Yeah, Minsk, I remember I had some handheld that it was really funny actually. I remember actually it was a really cheap one, and it said something like 9,999 games in one. Basically all it was Tetris with different levels, and they counted each level as a game. Which I thought was slightly misleading. Yeah, I mean, all I say regarding playing on stream is if just try and rotate. But if there is a free slot and no one's wanting to come in, if you've already been on once, feel free to come in again. Just sort of judge it really, just so we try and balance it. The 9999 in one sells around here. Yeah, they were normally bought from like catalogs and things like that, weren't they? You'll do a quick TTF while watching the stream. Yeah, no worries. Who would take a shelved? Yeah, got her to level 200 now. She's collecting dust. No, she will get used again. Probably when we get Rare Drop Week. I think when Rare Drop Week shows up, I'll probably use my Hunuel again. I guess try for CLJ Sword again. At the minute, it feels very pointless because there's no boosts at the minute. I don't really fancy a 1 in 12,500 drop. Should go for the best quest for zoos then, Max B. I honestly can't remember which one's the best for zoos. Yeah, I'm happy to do any. Les zoos. Okay, yeah, Drax said it is 4B. You know what I really miss? Toys R Us catalogs. Yeah, man, I was so sad when Toys R Us went out of business here. Although apparently they are reopening some shops in a few areas. But dude, I spent my childhood in Toys R Us. Like every Christmas I would go to Toys R Us as a kid and just spend like all the money I got there. So the wait until this is episode 4 game is by the fact that there are 3 forces. Toys R Us is still open in Canada. Lucky. Yeah, it went out of business. It was quite a few years ago in the UK. Toys R Us for Lego and Woolworths for Thomas the Tank Engine toys. How have you got 11 free inventory slots? I wish I had that many. You got Toy Kingdom there. You understand because of the bulletproof lizards. Yeah, I think episode 4 Force is just really, really strong in. Hi, Marlene. They're bringing them back slowly in retail stores. I hope they recover. It's a one place you enjoy being in for games. GameStop doesn't cut it for me. Honestly, I mean, game stores in the UK just aren't as popular now. When I was sort of in my teens and like maybe like early 20s, there was a few franchises that were quite strong in the UK. So there was Game, and then there was another one called Game Station as well. Game Station, I think, went out of business. And Game now is like almost unrecognizable. I went into a game store recently and most of it was things like Funko Pops, and I was thinking, well, where's the games? I suppose so many games are online now that I guess there's less need. Actually fuming to let Woolworths go under at 99 years, couldn't hold out for 100. Oh yeah, that is the event music, isn't it? Yeah. Just to remind us of better times. When things actually dropped. It's kind of funny, you would think that Psycho 1 is really, really common, given that like half of us here are using one. Game Station was awesome. CEX killed that game replaced Electronics Boutique. Yeah, I sort of vaguely remember Electronics Boutique. You're tired of this song. To be fair, we did hear it in the lobbies for like, what, 4 weeks straight. We're talking about that to the manager of the GameStop and you was like, bro, y'all are doomed. The lobbies have switched back. Oh, nice, got a Glide Divine. I actually need one of those. Oh, we actually got a Pazuzu as well. Cool. Wait, we're actually getting rare enemies in Rare Enemy Week. What is this? Oh, no V801. V801 number 2, yeah. Yeah, literally everyone got a V801 apart from me. That sounds about right. Oh well, we simply need another one then. Yeah, literally the first zoo spawn was a Pazuzu. Yeah, we've done literally 2 quests and had 2 rare enemies in Rare Enemy Week. Normally, for anyone who might not watch the stream before, typically whenever there's a Rare Enemy Week, we don't get rare enemies. First V801 was 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah, I've got one for my 4-Newell. I need to get another one from 4-Mile though. You're going to -5 hit the Glide Divine. Well done. Will this be the stream we get a Doff on a Claire? I mean, who knows? I mean, I think we need a miracle for a Doff on a Claire, but who knows? See, I told you, back on that grind for nothing. That's how it is, yeah. I think since I've come back to... Well, I say come back to PSO. Since the event ended, I don't think I've really found anything. Well, I expected as much because, you know, it is a massive drop in rare drop rate. You need a V801 for your Remart. You got a Doff on a Claire recently, but it was on Oran. What does it drop on Oran? I genuinely can't remember. The 801 was more than you found during the event. Did you find anything? I can't remember actually. I know you didn't play a massive amount during the event. Cheeky Megad? Cheeky Megad? Ah, we got one. Oh, it drops Blue Adoshi. Blue Adoshi is a decent armor. The main issue with Blue Adoshi though is obviously it gives you the Heavenly Battle, which is nice, but at endgame you're probably going to want to use a V101 anyway, which gives you the Heavenly Battle anywhere. So it kind of takes away one of the main reasons to use it, I guess. The only other real benefit to using it, I suppose, is it does give you the boost with Sanguinasha. Yeah, I mean, it's not too bad, an armor, but there are better for sure. Unless you're specifically building for that, it's just meh. I know on the Sega servers, that's what my Hunuel used. That's because on the Sega servers, V101 was, as it kind of is now, seems almost impossible to get. I never got a V101 on the Sega server, so I had to settle for Heavenly Battle. And then I found a Blue Adoshi, so I thought, well, I may as well just use Blue Adoshi. But if you've got a V101, there's no reason to use it, really. Yeah, free Tri-Fluid. Join my Huka Seal and Exard. Yeah, I guess Viridia Exard is probably one of the better ways to get it, I suppose. But we all know that V101 doesn't really exist. Heavenly Battle was everything for it. Never had luck getting him on GameCube. Yeah, Heavenly Battle wasn't on GameCube, so the best you had on GameCube was God Battle. And the worst thing about GameCube was that God Battle was exclusive to Red Rhea. So if you didn't have a Red Rhea character, you either needed to know someone who had a Red Rhea character, or trade for one, or put up with a Devil Battle. It was a terrible decision, really. That should never have been tied to one ID. Especially when it was so integral to Hunters and Rangers. I have no idea where that Dolphin went there. No wonder you gave up. I mean, it wasn't like a crazy rare drop for Red Rhea. I want to say it was about 1 in 300 and something from Handhelds. So it wasn't impossible to get by any means, but it was just a bad decision that they tied the item to one specific section ID. I know when I played GameCube, I basically played with someone who had a Red Rhea character, and they did it on Blue Burst as well, actually, before Ultimate got added. And basically what they would do is just farm God Battles to sell. God Battle was at least easy to farm with a pipe trick. Yeah, I mean, that was the advantage on GameCube. Obviously, you could use the pipe trick. Do you think fan SGS with all those boosts during the event would have diminished the fine, took the shine off it? Maybe only slightly. I mean, even with those boosts, it was still a really, really hard drop. I know we had 2 drop during the event, but even with the boost, it was still a very, very hard drop to get. I mean, yeah, sure, finding it at a 1 in 12,000 rate would be amazing. But honestly, I would be happy finding it any time. Part of me just wants to find it just so I can do something else. I mean, this week, one of the reasons I'm using my Force at the minute is, one, because I want to get some experience, but also because it's only rare in my week, we have no drop anything rate boost, we have no rare drop boost, so it kind of feels pretty pointless hunting SGS at the minute. So I'm probably going to save the SGS for like mainly drop anything rate weeks and rare drop weeks. I think the way I look at it is, during the event, I kind of feel like there was actually a chance of getting SGS. Whereas outside the event, it feels like it is almost impossible. I know that anything is possible in the game, but at like 1 in 12,000 from what is essentially a mini boss is a very, very rough drop. This guy found the SGS would be like Wile E. Coyote catching the Roadrunner. That is a very good analogy. We found 2 SGS, but we also found V101, and that's the rarest Uber in the game. Apparently, yeah. It does seem that way. Is there any games you're looking forward to playing when they come out? So there's 2 at the moment. So Monster Hunter Wilds is probably the main one. That is at some point in 2025. We're not sure exactly when yet. But I'm a big Monster Hunter fan, so I'm really looking forward to that. I do plan on doing some Monster Hunter videos, I think, at some point going forward as well. The other one is the Front Mission 3 remake, whenever that lands. I have no idea when that's going to be, though. The original Front Mission 3 on PlayStation is probably one of my favourite games ever, just behind PSO, so providing they don't mess with the remake too much, I'm really looking forward to that. I kind of feel that Front Mission is a series that barely anyone knows about, though. And oddly, I don't really like a lot of the other Front Mission games. It's just Front Mission 3. Oh, you had Front Mission 3? Oh, cool. Really enjoyed it back in the day. I love that game. I've still got my original copy of it. I think I've probably played through, because there's 2 storylines to the game, which was crazy for a PS1 game. I think it had about 120 hours of content, because each storyline was about 60 hours long. And I've probably done both stories, I want to say 5 to 10 times. Yeah, that's it, yeah. So you could either go with Emmy or Emma's story, the blonde woman, or you could go with Eliza, who was your sister. Would love to play with you on Wilds. Yeah, I'm up for playing with anyone on Wilds when it releases. I will be streaming it as well, obviously, so... Not surprised that a PSO fan likes Monster Hunter. There is a massive crossover. It seems to be just almost an unsaid thing that if you like PSO, you probably like Monster Hunter, and vice versa. Again, for anyone wondering, if you're not seeing what I'm responding to, it's because I am multi-streaming on Twitch and YouTube at the minute. Yeah, I will probably play some Front Mission 3. I don't know what I'll do for that yet, because obviously it is quite different from what I normally play. And I don't know how it would be received, honestly. I'm just hoping that the remake doesn't mess with the game too much. I did try the Front Mission 1 and 2 remakes, but honestly, I'm not a huge fan of those. I think the main reason, though, is that I'm just not a big fan of the mechanics and the story in those. Where 3 felt like a complete change to me. It's a good game, pretty mature story for the time. Yeah, it's a really in-depth story, honestly. Also, there's loads of little secrets in it as well. Yeah, I always remember with Front Mission 3, the way to get like the best mech in the game was this like incredibly convoluted process. You did the Emma story first. I think I did Emma's as well, yeah, first. Yeah, only people who played Front Mission 3 know how convoluted it was to get the Hushun mech. It was, yeah, it wasn't something you would ever stumble across. It was such a weird process to do it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there was like a inbuilt internet browser in the game, wasn't there? And you basically had to go to a certain site, find different links in the site, and then find another site and call someone. And it was such a weird process to do. But then the mech that you got for doing it was just busted. Yeah, from memory, I think you got the parts to make the mech itself, and then you also got the it was like a huge laser, wasn't it? So I think it was the only laser you could use in the game. It would just demolish everything. Yeah, I liked a lot of the mechanics in that game though, so I liked how you could do things like if you forced an enemy to surrender, or if you killed the pilot, you could steal their mech. So also, if your mech was about to get destroyed, you could like eject from your mech and take one of the opponent's ones. It was really, really cool. So PSO Major Love Monster Hunter, it's basically the same thing. I mean, they do take from each other a lot. I mean, I feel like I say this every single stream, but the Monster Hunter, they have confirmed that they were inspired by PSO when they made the original Monster Hunter. You're trying to think of a game that affected you emotionally. I think maybe finding out what happened to a character in Jade Empire gave you an emotional response, and it was not John Cleese. Yeah, honestly, I had no idea that John Cleese had a part in Jade Empire. But yeah, I'll have to decide what to do for Front Mission 3 because I imagine that a lot of people who watch for stuff like PSO probably aren't too interested in it. I may do videos on it, potentially. Maybe stream it once, twice, but we'll see. I will be playing it though. I just don't know when it's going to release yet. I don't think they've actually announced when it's releasing yet. They've just said it's in the works. Yeah, about your comments regarding like games that affect you emotionally, I think the only one that's really like hit me in recent years is probably Nier Automata. Like that game, if the first time you play it, is super, super special, I think. You've never been able to find a game like PSO 1 and 2 or Blue Burst. It is certainly, yeah, I think it's very much a product of its time. There is nothing really like it now, and I don't think there will be. But the good news is, at least you can still play it. Yoko Taro needs to hurry and make a new Nier game. He keeps sort of teasing it that he's considering it. But yeah, Nier Automata is an absolute trip. I've played most of Nier Replicant. I don't know, I like Replicant, but I don't love Replicant. I love the story in Replicant, definitely. But the gameplay I'm not as big a fan of. PB saved. A friend of yours is making a game called Atlas that's very inspired by PSO and MapleStory. Oh, cool. Replicant gives off the same feeling as Monster Hunter Rise, good but not as good as the other one. I think the issue with Replicant, obviously, is the original was, at the time, was kind of panned for the combat in it because although it was great story, the combat just wasn't good. And then the remake kind of feels like they just tried to shoehorn the Nier Automata combat into it, and I kind of feel like it almost doesn't work. But the story of Replicant is amazing, though. But yeah, Automata, though, I absolutely love. To the point where I think a few people know this, but I've been to a few of the Nier concerts that have been on, because one of the things about Nier is that the music is absolutely incredible. It's probably one of the best soundtracks of any game I've heard in about the last 10 years. I think the game that affected you emotionally was Evil Within 2. Just wanted to get his daughter back after being lied to. So his family was killed in a house fire. Yeah, I've never played the Evil Within games. Oh, you got a guard wave. Oh, nice. Wow, that's actually a really high stat one. That's like almost max stats. I know you can't see it because of where my camera is, but I've got an item reader up, and that guard wave that just dropped for Mist had 49 out of 50 defense, and I think it was 1 short on evade as well. Ow. OSC is definitely top video game soundtracks. It's amazing. I absolutely love it. I'll boost that, why not? I'll just try and stun lock them if I can. There we go. The J, the backstory is the Emperor stopped a drought. Throughout the game, you characterize visions of a woman in blue. Towards the end, you find out who she is. Okay. Yeah, that guard wave is ridiculous. Yeah, it's 49 out of 50 and 19 out of 20. Also, yeah, we should probably hit the terminal because the time, for some reason, continues counting down, even though the mission is over. Which way actually is it? Is it this way? Even the police chief lied to him and let him believe the lie, as well as the psychologist they assigned to him. I think it was the only one that dropped, yeah. It was the only one I saw anywhere. Oh, he picked it up without knowing. Yeah, I think he dropped it basically just to show the stats off. Yeah, I would like to do a Nier playthrough again at some point. I did one. I actually did one on stream several years ago. Shortly after the game came out, actually. Because I used to stream quite a few years ago, before I even did the PSO content. But it was one of these situations where I basically just streamed on Twitch. I didn't really do anything on YouTube. And it was one of those things where you basically just stream to like 0 to 1 people most of the time. You should just get Nier Automata and go ham on it. What I would say is, to anyone who considers buying Nier Automata, it's one of those games where you need to play it through a few times. When the game released, it got panned by some journalists because they only played through the first ending. And the first ending doesn't even tell you most of the stuff about the game. Without spoiling anything, you basically want to play through ending A, B, and then you do C and D more or less at the same time. And then ending E is like a bonus ending that you should do. All the rest of them are like joke endings that you can get through the game, but make sure you do the main 5 endings. That and sexy characters got panned too. Yeah, I mean, that seems to be a thing recently as well, doesn't it? I don't know if anyone saw it, but the remake of Lollipop Chainsaw recently got released, and IGN have refused to review it. Why am I standing there? I mean, to be fair, she's not even in the same outfit. I mean... Although scarily, she does have, well, she's got the same hair colour. I do have different face paint, to be fair. And I think I am a bit shorter. But the outfit is not even similar. Yeah, you also need to eat the fish as well. Some of the joke endings are crazy, innit? Kind of want to play Drakengard first. Yeah, I kind of feel like Drakengard is quite hard to play now, isn't it? I think... I don't remember what console it was on now. Was it PS2 or... I honestly can't remember. PS2, fair enough. Yeah, I never played any of the Drakengard games. So I'll give that Glide Divine to my Foral, I think. Because I think she does actually need one. Can't believe they can't find Rupi because she's right there. I mean, yeah, you don't need to look very far, really, do you? You love a game with multiple endings. That's good. Have better time than you would with Metal Gear Solid. Yeah, I believe in Nier Automata, I think there are 26 endings. One for every letter of the alphabet. But only A, B, C, D, and E are the main endings. All the rest are jokes. But yeah, essentially, like, ending A is what I would pretty much describe as like a tutorial. Or like the prologue to the game. It doesn't tell you much at all. And a lot of reviewers at the time only reviewed it based on that. You remember FF13 having something like that? Yeah, I would thoroughly recommend playing Nier Automata if you haven't. The story is very, very weird, but I really, really enjoyed it. Max attack quest givers are the evil military on the first step 4 story quests. They are. 26 endings. Yeah, realistically though, the endings are based. So for the joke endings, I mean, you can get one of them literally right at the start of the game just by doing something stupid. Again, I'm not going to spoil it because I can see, for example, Myst. I know you've been considering playing it, so I fully get that you would want to watch it if you were going to play it. It is the kind of game where you would spoil yourself if you were watching it. But yeah, the joke endings are basically just you do a certain thing in the game and it'll trigger an ending. Automata, yeah. You just exited the campsite, the resistance camp. Oh, cool. Yeah, that area at the start of the game as well is super, super chill. Never played the game, by the way. Yeah, I won't spoil it for Myst, but there is an ending you can do pretty much right at the start. One of the joke endings. The game is good, music is great. Yeah, pretty much. I think the gameplay for it is cool. Oh, did you go to the concert as well, Slingshot? Yeah, I went to the one in London in 2020, and then I went to the one that was this year as well. The concert was absolutely amazing. You got yourself killed exploring where you shouldn't. Oh, you went to the one in Atlanta? Oh, cool. Just out of curiosity, for the one in Atlanta, did it have Emmy Evans and Janique Nicole? Because I know they were both at the London one this year. The first time I saw it, it was only Emmy Evans. All the merch was sold out instantly. Yeah, I didn't get any merch on the first time that went in 2020, but I did manage to get to the front of the merch queue in the one this year. Mainly because I went there about 3 hours early and the merch queue was already about 2 hours long. You had 2 singers, yeah, so it was probably Emmy Evans and Jeanette Nicole. To get it today, then heard nothing but great things about it. It's a really cool game. I mean, the combat, it's fine, the combat in the game. I think it is very sort of focused around dodging, so if you're not into kind of sort of twitch dodging, you may not enjoy the combat as much, but honestly, I would just stick with it for the music and the story. It's an RPG where the first dialogue in the game is an NPC asking if you're going to be a bounty hunter. If you answer no, the game ends. Yeah, it does have a lot of customization options as well, so if you want to make it super easy, you can. There is also a very hard mode where you can get killed in one shot. So yeah, I may play that a little bit at some points, but I will give you a warning mist if I am going to play it, just so you don't spoil yourself. Combat reminds you of Bayonetta. Bear in mind you haven't played Devil May Cry. That's probably no coincidence because it was made by Platinum Games. So I guess we jump into another run then. So we're 2 for 2 for rare enemies so far. So has anyone got anything they want to hunt from, particularly from a rare enemy? But I am happy to do anything. Again, I realise this week isn't fantastic because there's no rare drop boosts. Lavis Cannon, Conjure of Viridiodorphon. Yeah, I think Parkins, were you hunting Conjure for something? Time dodging sounds like fun. Reminds you of Neo and Bayonetta. Would say Stellar Blade, but never played it. Yeah, I've never tried Stellar Blade. You're down for a limiter from Conjure. Oh, you're after Heaven Striker. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm down to do a point in disaster if you want to do a run. At this rate, it'll be 12 to 14 weeks until level 200. Yeah, no worries. LJP, if you want to share that on the Discord, that's fine. Mainly after experience. Viridia Red off on his kind of Christmas fiasco material. Yeah, I mean, I think the next sort of major event is probably Halloween, I want to say. So yeah, I'm down to do a purple nun point of disaster if you want to go for Heaven Striker. Just give me my divine filter already. You mean your divine filters, so you can use it for both of your heaven punishers. Oh, you're heading off, mate. Scar, no worries. Oh, thanks for joining. Halloween is weird. I think people do Carl's Clock Challenge to farm cookies. I'm guessing they do CCC just because it's probably one of the fastest ways of getting enemies quickly. So I guess you use it to farm. Yeah, we have 6, so we can split into 2 groups of 3. It's probably the best way to do it. Yeah, I'm not sure how the Halloween works, honestly. I know there are cookies that you can get, and I think there's special quests that you can run for the cookies that give you like crazy drop rates. Twin Heaven Striker from PSU. It's better than Miss Double Punisher. Trying to see if there's anything for Green Hill Raycast, and aside from Frozen Shoot, you don't have much to do. I mean, Green Hill, I mean, you've got things like V101 from Zoos. What was that? Cookie quests are like 200% experience, higher drops, etc. Oh, cool. Yeah, we can just do 2-point disaster runs then if you want to. Also, Pika, remember that because of the anniversary event and because of the drop chart changes, we have all got one free section ID change. So if you do want to change section ID, you know, if you're not feeling Green Hill, you can change it if you want to. No remorse from LJP. I'm going to assume, was it to ban that bot? Oh, you're loving Green Hill. Oh, cool. Yeah, so we now have what, 7? Yeah, so we can do a 4 and a 3 then. You can change ID, so it's a thing that's on this server. Normally you have the ability to change your section ID once below level 20. Once you get to level 20, you can't change it. But recently they did some drop chart changes that actually changed some of the drops around in the game. So because of that, they gave everyone a free ID change if you want to. I guess the idea is that if you were hunting something and then your thing you were hunting got changed, you're allowed to now change your ID over if you want to. You can only do it once per character though. You can set Twitch chat to verified users only. That way, only people with a confirmed mobile number can chat, so it prevents bots. Also, there's follows only chat too. Choose that. I might sort that out for maybe next stream. I kind of feel like setting it to having a confirmed mobile number might put some people off from chatting. So I'll have to think about what the best option is. Yeah, you can change your free up to level 20. So if you're below level 20, or up to 20, you can change ID, no problem. Once you're above 20, then you should have one ID change, I believe. And it's only because the drop charts have changed. They typically do it if they do any changes to the drop charts, they will give you a free changeover. Normally it'd put you off, but you get it now. Yeah, so we can get started then. So we can do, let's do some point in disaster then. So we can do 1 purple num run. And then whatever the other team wants to do, I guess. If you want to do a white hill run for a limiter, or if you want to do another purple. Makes entire account Oran characters. And we are quite lacking in Oran. I mean, we do have... My Hukasil is technically in ultimate with Oran, but she's still super squishy. Compete for Heaven Striker. Yeah, you do need Disancestor for your Lavis Cannon. What's POD drops in purple versus... Was that versus white? If you took the head of Trask and put it on Metatron's body, you'd have my Hucast. Yeah, I mean, honestly, when you run Point in Disaster, you mainly run it for the boss drops anywhere, because there's not that many enemies otherwise. Yeah, we could also technically get another 801 if we get another Pazuzu, if we do purple num. This is assuming we even get Conjure as the boss as well, because, you know, Who knows? So maybe just go with, what, do you want to go with just 2 purple number runs then? You can get on your 150 Oran. What's the normal boss drops? I never really, well, for Point of Disaster, it'll be Dragon Scale, because it's always Shamberton. Yeah, Drac, I know there is another route that you can do in Point of Disaster. It's funny because no one ever does it. Dragon Scale's okay, but you can get it from Corrin as well, so... Yeah, if you want to do Sam Million, you have to do Max Attack instead. Or one of the government quests. So let's get one going then. So we can do, if we can get a purple num. So if someone wants to make a purple num game. And then for the second game, if you want to either go with another purple num run or a white L run, whichever. Yeah, sure, missed you. I may join the purple one because I wouldn't mind a Veto one. Obviously, Heaven Striker with hit would be nice as well, but yeah, I'm honestly more interested in the Veto one. Yeah, so the password should be stream. Nice, Sonic Boom. Yeah, so just feel free to join whichever game you want to join. Hi, Nimu. Yeah, doing pretty well. Certainly feeling a little bit better than the last stream anyway. I was feeling a little bit ill on the last stream where we did Monster Hunter. But yeah, feeling a little bit better now. The fabled Oran. It's kind of crazy how few Oran characters there are in this game. Which is odd because Oran has some crazy areas. I mean, like, Oran Mines is ridiculously good. Good to hear. Oh, cheers. Alright, so we have a purple POD and another one. So there is one slot in this game and another one here. So I will join Blitz just so there's more than one person. Yeah, mine's finally an RBR, but there's no rare drop boost. I mean, I suppose you get a small boost from it being an RBR, but yeah, it kind of sucks. You were really torn between Viridia and Oran. Yeah, Oran is honestly a really decent ID. I kind of don't feel like there is a bad ID in Blueburst now. I think there are bad areas for certain IDs for sure. But I don't think there is necessarily a bad ID overall. Oh, you ended up hitting 200 before the event ended. Oh, cool. Congratulations on that. Yeah, it feels so much slower now, doesn't it? So we've got 2 more spaces in this game. So again, password is stream, if anyone wants to join. And one more slot if anyone's around. All of the IDs do Oran better. I get what you're saying. I do feel that Oran Mines is probably one of the best areas in the game though. Like, Oran Mines is ridiculously OP. kind of feel like there's a bit of a cast theme going on here. I'm happy to do either. Whichever Metatron and Remote want to do. Kind of depends if you want to go for Sam Million or if you want to go for the faster run and do POD. I guess POD is faster for getting to Condryu, but max attack is... I guess Sam Million has a potentially better drop than Chamberton, so it kind of depends which one you want to do. Yeah, I think the only issue with Heavenly is the fact that Centurion exists. Yeah, just pick whichever one you want, Parkins. I'm happy to do either. What exclusives does Oran get now? I know they tend to change the table, so I believe Twin Chakram is a Oran exclusive. That is not a fantastic item, but it's something unique. I think Prophets of Motav might be Oran exclusive. I can't remember if they gave it an extra drop on Ephinea or not. I know back on GameCube it definitely used to be an Oran exclusive, but whether they've changed it on this I'm not sure. Obviously Oran card as well, but yeah. No one cares about the cards. Does Prophets of Motav still have the Untech glitch? What was the Untech glitch for Prophets of Motav? Because the only Untech glitch I'm aware of is the one that used to be for Lavis. What was the Untech glitch for Prophets? Oh, Pinkle has Prophets now as well. I will say that that's one thing I'm not a huge fan of with Ephinea. I kind of feel that the exclusive item should be exclusive to the IDs. Particularly the really rare ones anyway. Had an AoE attack while intact. I'm honestly not sure then. I didn't even know that was a thing, honestly. Yeah, I know Lavis on GameCube used to have a glitch where you could use the special, like, you know, and I think it would have increased power and accuracy, and I don't think it sacrificed your HP, which was pretty busted. Needless to say, they have fixed that in Blue Burst. Special was basically like slinging around an X-Skull. Also, Doff on a Claire. The rare Doff on a Claire. So we are 3 for 3. Doff on a Claire exists. And dropped a Rage Defu with 5 hit. I mean, great, I guess. Part of me kinda wants to down tech it to -5 for a laugh, but how do I see hit? So, might quite hard to show this, but let's see. So if I remove my camera, I have a item reader, and this shows all the items that drop in the game. So if an item drops, it'll tell me what the percentages are. It could have been a Rouge with hit. It could have been, but it wasn't. You want an Asteron belt with 40 hit. Yeah, man, Greenhill is too good. Greenhill is far too strong. I mean, it got nerfed, but it's still really good. Yeah, Prophets of Motav, though, I know we're talking about it a bit, it's kind of an interesting weapon because, as rare as it is just kind of outclassed by Psycho Wand. On techno mode I have, when you use the special, it'll do a heavy attack but with special range. You basically have a massive area heavy attack but it doesn't drop stats. Yeah, honestly, I never knew it had that bug. I know there is loads of weird bugs you can do with some of the weapons in PSO, but yeah, I genuinely never knew about that one. For example, like, I know with the Tsumikiru J sword, you can make it use less PB for the special than normal by like rapidly switching to another weapon. It's sad that Forney technically can equip their mech skull. It never reaches the capacity to be able to do so. Yeah, it doesn't say can't equip, it's just that you literally cannot get enough attack power to use it. I guess with Forney World, the nearest thing you've got to it is to use like a red saber with Crimson Coat, which admittedly is not quite the same. Oh, nice, Blitz got a 13. 13, super good armor. Yeah, so you can be an aggressive librarian. Okay, fair enough. So, although Pinkle does get profits 1 in 40,000 from an Ep 2 Grand Sorcerer, I think I would probably take the Bringer Drop over that. Admittedly, the Bringer Drop is also terrible, which is why I don't get that it's essentially just a worse Psycho Wand. I mean, I guess Psycho Wand is... Some of the drops, I guess, are technically rarer. Oh, Rimmel got a Smart Link, cool. Why are all the rares dropping? It's like, it's rare enemy week, and we're getting rare enemies as well. We're getting more in this stream than we have during the event. Maybe that's a slight exaggeration, but... Is Zamba the strongest Berserk sword, technically? I'm trying to think now. The S-Rank sword from Challenge Mode, when you grinded it, might be stronger, but obviously you can't get a hit on that. And I wouldn't recommend getting one Berserk. I had one with Berserk on Sega, and it's not really worth it. You just miss. It's because it's the week after the event, yeah. But yeah, I think if you want in Berserk, I think the Zamba is probably the strongest for it, for swords. Obviously, you do have other options as well, so you could go with, on Blue Burst at least, you can go with Yun Chang for Partisans. Everyone's running the cactuses, so I thought I'd do the same. In episode 2 with my 40, well, nope. I mean, in Spaceship, in Ep 2, a lot of the things in Spaceship are weak to dark, so you can negate spam most of the stuff in there. The Sorcerers, I assume, probably have quite high dark resist, though. Remember on Stack they had that Christmas event back in the day and they released Rainbow, which was a true Flowers on steroids. Yeah, I think the problem with adding like custom weapons and things to the game is quite often you'll find that people just don't really know how to balance and they'll just make things that are obscenely busted. Although to be fair, in Blue Burst we've got obscenely busted from Sega anyway with Excalibur. Yeah, I realised episode 2 is a very mixed area for Funuel for sure. There's some parts of episode 2 Funuel will wreck because, as I said, a lot of things are quite low dark resist. And because you've got that PSO Mega, it is, you know, quite a good class for it. But then there are other areas where you'll just do no damage. Won't be able to kill anything. I mean, I guess you could run it multiplayer. That's another option. But yeah, I mean, that painkiller drop though is rough. I mean, 1 in 40,000 from one of the sorcerers is really, really hard. Yeah, I feel Prophets does need a bit of a buff, I think, considering how rare it is. I believe it gives you about a 20% buff to the Ratex, whereas Psycho 1 gives 30. And I just feel that, given how rare it is, it probably should be a little bit better. Oh, I think that's the Conjuring music. It is. Rare enemy week actually given rare enemies. So you're saying there's a chance. The CCA I wouldn't even solo with my Funuel. And yeah, CCA is a very mixed area, so a lot of stuff there again is weak to dark, but then you've got things like the mini bosses that are very much not. So I believe, I want to say that the Heaven Striker drop rate is 1 in 8, I think. So, you know, not holding out too much hope, but there's 4 of us. Maybe there's a chance of someone getting it. It's 50-50 clearly. I mean, that's how it works, isn't it? Now, what are you weak to? Ice, apparently. That was extremely rude. Looks like VR Spaceship will be our best friend for Funuel. I mean, good luck if you are going for that drop, because that is a rough drop. Gotta say, the Conjuring music goes so hard. Did you experience the tornado one shot? Yeah, Drac, yeah, we've done 3 runs. We've had 3 enemies, and we got a Doff on a Claire earlier in the run as well. So I don't know what's going on exactly, but I like the tactical PB dodge. Hope I haven't strike with hit drops. I mean, hopefully. Honestly, I would take a Heaven Striker in general. I mean, I've got one for my Rare Mile, but it has no percent at all. So anything is an improvement. Dolphin Eclair has to be worth an oh my god, surely. It depends because his drops aren't, well, his drops are very hit and miss depending on ID. It is very rare to see him though, because I suppose Dolphin is kind of like a mini boss, so getting a rare version of it is quite rare. But I'm genuinely surprised that we're actually getting rare enemies, because it normally never happens. We've got the bobble hat glitch, so because I got knocked down at the end, I can move my 4-year-old's bobble hat. I'm easily amused. I got a Heaven Striker. Hawkman's also got a Heaven Striker. Mine has 5% dark, which I did say any would be an improvement. The game took that literally and said, here's a 5%. What's yours like, Parkins? Is it any good? All zeros? Oh, okay. At least we actually got some to drop, I guess, you know. I mean, it's a 1 in 8 drop, so it is quite unlucky. Quite unlikely to drop, really. Did you actually have a Heaven Striker at all, Parkins, or is that your first one? First one? Oh, cool. Oh, congrats on that. The rare sounds different. Yeah, so the rare drop noise is different because it's a 12-star. So all 12-star weapons actually have a different rare drop noise. I want to say that it's maybe like the 13-star plus rare drop noise from PSP2, maybe. No banner, such. Yeah, it didn't have any hit, unfortunately. Yeah, just 5% dark. Hi, Pig. Yeah, honestly, it's been kind of a crazy stream though. Like, considering it's only rare enemy week, you know, we've had what? We've had a Hildator, we've had a Pazuzu, we've had a Dolphin Eclair, we've had a Condryu, and we've had 2 Heaven Strikers, a couple of V801s. Kind of insane. Notice there's different sounds for boss drops like Gal Griffin. It depends entirely on what the drop is. So from what I understand, if it's a 12-star item, you get a special drop noise. I'm not sure if there's any others that make the different noise. But I know that the couple of 12 stars that I found, so I know the Psycho one made that noise. The Galatine that I found did that noise as well. Oh, you saw it wrong. It's 5% beast. At least it's got some percents. You wonder what monster's next. I mean, yeah, apparently this is the day where all the rare enemies show up. The Rage does actually have hits, but yeah, it's like 5%. Maybe a Caves run for Red Slime. I mean, maybe that is the play for the next one, yeah. You know what will happen though, a Mid-Lily will show up. The event's over, let's show up now, exactly. I also love how the Tekka picture for this gun doesn't work. For some reason, with this specific one, the Tekka picture just doesn't work. Which is odd because I'm sure I found another one and it did work. So who knows what's happening there. Unfortunately, this is the purple num techer who doesn't like to tech anything properly. Of course, as I say that, he techs it properly. So 15 hit, I mean, it's fine. So Heaven Striker was 5 dark. That techer specifically is just rude. Yeah, basically each ID has like a chance of getting like +5, +10, -5, -10, or staying the same. So I think Skylight has like a better chance of up-teching, but I think has a lower chance of like neutral techs. I can't remember the exact specifics now, but each ID is slightly different. And I know Purple Num is bad at getting +10%. I've said that, he's managed it there, so, you know, it's something. But yeah, it's a 12-star, so that's why it made the different drop noise. Still, I'll take it. It's better than the Heaven Striker I've got currently, so... Oh, you got Sam Million. Did you get any rare enemies? Because somehow we are on 3 for 3 so far, which amazes me. No rare enemies are. Well, it sounds like you're at the boss anyway, so we can wait for you to finish that run. It's just kind of weird that the event has ended and we still seem to be getting loads of good drops. So we've got the cursed wedding music. So yeah, enjoy listening to this horrific rendition of the wedding march. Hi, it's playable. So they're actually on the boss now. They are. Yeah, pretty good, dude. Yeah, not too bad. So first PSO stream since the event ended, and we're still getting loads of rare enemies showing up, so... Feel a little bit better now as well, so... Happy marriage. Yeah, for some reason there is a wedding march track in PSO. I have no real idea why. You would think that the ideal time to use this would be in that quest with the Lost Bride, but it doesn't play there. Hilda Pazuzu and Dolphin Eclair and Conjured. Did I spell that right? I think Dolphin Eclair doesn't have an E on the end, but yeah, apart from that, it's alright. We just got Heaven Striker, so Heaven Punisher sounds logical. I mean, it does. I mean, how hard can that be? The answer is very. Unless you're missed and you get 2 in the event. So yeah, we'll just wait for the other team to get finished, and then we'll do another run, maybe a caves run or something. Yeah, he literally got 2 Psycho Wands, 2 Heaven Punches, and the Lavis Cannon. Just imagine getting married in PSO. Wouldn't surprise me if someone did. Like, and you got a red ring, yeah. How could we forget that? Your luck has been bad since you blessed Mist. How many times have you teched for an item until you got the exact stat you wanted? I have some items in my stash on this that are still unteched because the tech will not give me plus 10%. Or minus 10. Because I'm trying to down tech a Victor Axe because I really hate the weapon. And I got one with 5 hit, so I'm trying to go down to -5 for the memes. But yeah, it varies a lot. I mean, sometimes you get the tech straight away, sometimes you can be there for like 10-20 minutes. No luck but good experience. Yeah, it's decent experience, point disaster. Victor Axe slander, I'll allow it. Honestly, Victor Axe is such a bad weapon. There is another weapon kind of similar to it in Blue Burst. There's one called Laconium Axe, which works kind of the same, so it has a sword animation but only hits 1 target still. But at least that has a lot of attack power. I still don't think it's a very good weapon, but it's at least got attack power. Where Victor Axe isn't particularly strong, hits 1 target, and has a sword animation. It's terrible. It does look cool though, I'll give it that. You're contemplating getting Heart of Laconium Axe for your TGS. Can't tell how good it looks though. From what I've seen, it basically looks like a huge battle axe. Personally, for me, I'm not a massive fan of how it looks, but yeah, maybe just look it up on the Ephinea wiki. I might be wrong, but I think Heart of Laconium Axe, I think, is a Skyly drop, isn't it? It is, yeah, I thought it was. Yeah, Victor Axe, like I say, it is a cool looking weapon. It just doesn't have that much purpose at all. It's because it's got a sword animation, it's really slow. But you're not getting the advantage of hitting multiple targets with it, so it just feels kind of pointless. It's Sam Million. Yeah, I want to say it's about a 1 in 128 drop from Sam Million. It is quite a hard drop to get. Even in episode 3, it's not good. I can't remember how good, what it's like in episode 3, honestly. You couldn't do POD. Did the breaker need to be on the same team? You shouldn't need to be. As far as I'm aware, as long as everyone is in a team, it should work. Unless they've changed it, but as far as I'm aware, it's as long as everyone is just in a team. That's a good point, yeah, so every team also has to have the quest unlocked. Oh, that's really weird then. Unless they have changed it so you have to be in the same team, but I'd be surprised if they did that because then barely anyone would run POD. Yeah, was Sophie in a different team? Yeah, possibly. So if Sophie was in a separate team or in a team that didn't have it unlocked, then maybe that's the thing that does prevent you from doing it. I suppose you can still do max attack though. It's like Sophie's just finishing up in there, so... Yeah, I mean, the main reason that you run Point of Disaster is for Conjure, because Shamberton's drop is just Dragon Scale anywhere, which honestly is not really worth that much, so you can get one easily. Yeah, I think we could try doing a Lavis run if you want. Try and do... I'm guessing probably max attack in caves is probably the best one to go for, because there is a lot of slimes in there. Episode 3 was rough to say the least. I would just say it's just very, very different. A lot of people are not going to like it. Oh, no worries, Sophie. It's just a very, very different game. I think that a lot of people who like the gameplay style of PSO 1, 2 and Blue Burst might not gravitate towards Ep 3 because of how different it is. I think as a card game, though, I think it is a fun game. You wish you purchased episode 3 when it was in your GameStop forever ago. Yeah, Max Stack 1A has 16 spawns, yeah, and you can split them all. So there's a ton of slimes. Well, what I will do then, I will make a Max Stack 1 run on Red Rhea. We might not finish it because I think you do all of mines as well, and it is a very long quest. But the main point of doing it is to go through caves anyway and split the slimes. Try and get red slime. So I'll make one of those. Anyone who wants to join, feel free. Password, as always, is stream. You feel like the Arc side was the harder of the two sides. Yeah, the issue with the Arcs teams in Ep 3 is you essentially need to use the creatures to defend your main story character. So your story character will take direct damage if they get hit. So you need to try and defend them. So it becomes this game of trying to like block the opponent in and stop them from getting to your story character. Whereas with Hunters, you can basically just stack gear to protect your character. I do kind of find Hunters easier to use overall, but I think I probably prefer playing Arcs because of how fun they are. You're afraid to join, what if you get a second one? I mean, to be fair, you've got 2 Heaven Punishers, 2 Psycho ones, so I mean, what's a second Lavis Cannon? I mean, you may as well. We do have 4, don't we? Yeah, cool. So we'll do this. So don't worry about completing it because we're basically here just to get the cave slime kills anyway. So just make sure that we split the slimes because we need the red slime for Red Rhea. You still need your first Lavis, so do I. I'm guessing it's even beats. Also, I've just realised Slingshot is 191. I remember when we started playing, you were under level 100. That's insane. You were 83. That's crazy, going from 83 to 191. I mean, it wasn't that long ago that we first played. Alright, so no luck with these guys then. Amazing what no work for a month from the event happening can do. You're fighting Caster and got the 5 turns of 1-1. That is awful luck. I suppose that's the only downside of episode 3 is that it is, as well as it being based on like your tactics and how you play your cards, it is also heavily based on RNG with the dice rolls. Also raised 3 characters to 130 plus outside of this. Surprise Manus is 191 because every time you play with them, they sleep at 5 AM. Okay, Boink has summoned a red slime and Lavis, so hopefully that materializes. And we are 3 for 3 with quests so far, so the slimes only do split so much. See you, Marlene. Could you imagine if you got a Steam Deck last month, you were unemployed, could have done some major grinding? I mean, at least, you know, even though we're outside the event now, at least you still do get the, you know, the once every 4 weeks experience week, so you can still do it. Sunny exec, we don't have enough IPs, and you have plenty to revive your old ones. Oh, Trask got a red slicer. Cool. I like that. It immediately drops it on the floor. Yeah, that is basically what most people think of the red slicer. It's kind of unfortunate. It's you'd think it'd be a pretty cool weapon, but the downside is with slicers that everyone just wants a Disco Braven with it. Or a Slicer Frenetic. You to me at worst team points. I mean, at least it's 10-star, yeah. I think at the moment, Passion Flame, I think Sony at the minute are too busy just rolling out live service games that just fail horribly. I did see a really funny thing about the new Assassin's Creed game, actually. I think I mentioned this on the Discord call yesterday, on the little Discord event that we had. But on the recent trailer for Assassin's Creed Shadows, or whatever it's called, on that, there's a lot of comments that have appeared on the YouTube video that are quite obviously bot comments that are hyping the game up. Now, I don't know if it's Ubisoft that have arranged that, but it's very convenient. It's basically a load of comments that are all made at about exactly the same time, all have about exactly the same likes, and they're all hyping up the game. It's very, very suspicious. When you do start on Ephinea, people get frustrated if you don't use the mega weapons and stick with your faves. Fought on launch a fan club. Use what you want, dude. The only time I would really say anything is if you're doing like a super hard quest, like maybe something in tower. Obviously, if you're using a ranger, if you've got something like a frozen shooter, you know, the rest of the team will probably appreciate it if you use a frozen shooter because it helps to lock some of the more dangerous spawns down. But honestly, for the majority of quests in the game, I don't care what you use. Yeah, they were all from accounts with one comment as well. The weird thing is, they were all unique comments as well. So it's almost like, I don't know if they were originally written by people and then have been like botted to reach a wider audience. It's kind of really weird, but it's really suspicious. Especially with all the sort of negativity that's been going around about that game as well. It seems very convenient that all of a sudden it's got a ton of positive comments. A friend who likes Assassin's Creed said that the game is fine, it's just strange that they created a character the first time. I mean, I know with that game, I know there's a lot of sort of controversy about the main character in it. You know, essentially what it boils down to is the main guy in the game is, I believe, based on a person called Yasuke, who was meant to be, depending on who you ask, he was either a samurai or he was like a retainer for Nobunaga Oda. And there's essentially this massive argument that's developed over whether he was actually a samurai. It's like, yeah, it's got pretty out of hand. I'm guessing it boils down to probably people associating it with like DEI in games. I'm guessing that's sort of the crux of the matter as to why people are not happy with it. But yeah, it's a difficult one. You don't care, Pika? Yeah, I mean, some people are not going to. Some people will be totally fine with it, and they'll just play it because they want to play the game, which, you know, more power to you if you want to do that. It doesn't really affect me at all because I've never really been a big fan of the Assassin's Creed games anywhere. So it was never really on my radar to play anywhere. But just the whole situation with these comments showing up on the video is just very, very interesting, the timing of it. Yeah, man, I think the DEI is just because obviously it's a very sort of talked about thing in the industry at the minute, isn't it? Not just regarding Assassin's Creed. I think it's just in general, it's been brought up a lot. So I think there is an extent of sort of jumping to conclusions. I mean, the whole thing about this Yasuke is really weird anyway, because even in Japan they can't decide whether he was a samurai or not, because there was one Japanese historian who said that he was, and then another one said he wasn't. So I kind of feel like it's not going to get anywhere. I kind of feel like nothing's really going to change with it. There's only a handful of good live service games, so to see them keep making more with the long-term goal is weird for Sony. I can't work out for Sony as well. I can't work out why they keep banking on these live service games when they keep failing. They're costing the company a ton of money, but they keep doing them. I don't know, it seems super weird to me. Black Flag was your favourite in the series, especially the sea shanties. I'm also trying to think if I've ever really played an Assassin's Creed much. I mean, I got Assassin's Creed Syndicate when I got a PS4, but I never played it. I think just because it didn't appeal to me. It was one of the games that came with the console. Oh yeah, I think there is another way to go here, actually, yeah. You can get a couple more slimes out this way. You love the Ezio saga? Yeah, I mean, I always hear that like the old Assassin's Creed games were pretty good. But yeah, for myself, I never really played one myself, really, so I can't really judge them. Did I get a Psycho one during the event? I did. It's the only Uber I got during the event, but yeah, I managed to get one. Yeah, that was never going to go well. I'm surprised it hasn't happened before now, to be honest. Force is a bit nerfed here in multiplayer because the lilies are normally weak to like thunder, and if you use Razonde in here, you can hit everything in the room. But in multiplayer, they're immune to electric and they're weak to ice, which doesn't reach the whole room. So I guess no red slime, huh? Hoping the S6 isn't rubbish. Your hopes are high, but expectations are low. Right, so this is the big money spawn. I think the 3 out of 3 streak's gonna be broken. Nah, no red slime. Oh well. You know, God forbid we actually get a rare enemy shop that we're hunting. I mean, I guess we got Pazuzu earlier. Not that it dropped a V801 for me, but we got one. That's how I felt about Destiny 2. You got it in a bundle of PS4 but never played it. Yeah, I think I'm trying what I got on my PS4 when I got it. I know it was Assassin's Creed Syndicate, and what was the other game? I think it was it Drive Club? I think, which again I don't think I ever played. I do like racing games, but I just never got around to playing it. Sophie found a cure poison. I'm so sorry. You wish Nug was better for Yellow Ball's exclusive weapon. I can't remember if Yellow Balls is exclusive. Sorry, if Nug is exclusive. It might drop on a couple of other IDs as well. But I do agree that it should be better. The only problem with Nug is the fact that Cannon Rouge exists. So it's up to you guys. We can either end there or we can push on to mines and do some mines if you want to. I'm cool with either. You love the games you got with the original Xbox, Halo 1 and Midtown Madness 3. Your call, boss. Yeah, we can try doing one more run then if you want. Nuggy's also on Viridia and Greenhill. Yeah, I thought I dropped on a couple of IDs. Yeah, I think we've only had the drop on yellow. What a waste. Charged Gladius, 50 machine, 40 dark. Oh, Viridia gets it from a Belrain temple. Also, that's a horrible drop. 2 games I'll always miss are Burnout Revenge and Need for Speed 2. Oh, green will get it from Sin or red. Okay, so Yellow Buzz is definitely the best drop then. Yeah, I think the Cannabin drop is probably by far the best, even though the drop rate is pretty horrific. I mean, to be fair, the drop rate's no worse than the Viridia one, actually. But considering how numerous cannabins are, to me that seems like by far the best drop. Burnout 3 Takedown is the best racing game ever made. I think the only Burnout I've really put any time into was Burnout Paradise, which I really enjoyed actually. Honestly, that was one of the main reasons I liked Burnout Paradise. The music was really good. You got 2 Lavis 2 days back to back doing TTF. He had surgery and PSO it was a junior recovery. Could swap to forecast for another red. If you want to, yeah. I mean, how many we got? About 6. Or 7, actually. Paradise open worldish. Kind of, yeah. So there's basically a big map that you can just explore. Yeah, I really enjoy Paradise, though. Yeah, if you want to sit out, that's fine. Entirely up to you. Give us a chance to do with runs with your boss. Yeah, I mean, if you want to switch around, that's fine. What I'll do is I'll set another red rig out then, so we can do one more run. Or is that about PSO2? Finally linked your Xbox account with PSO2 on stream, and there's a lot of ads everywhere, but the movement is fun. It runs poorly on the Steam Deck. I imagine that's probably just because PSO2 is probably really poorly optimized. Well, I'll make another red rate, so anyone who wants to join this one, feel free. I was with your LJP until you said Gran Turismo. I love the original Gran Turismo, like the very first one. I grew up with that game, and I adore the original Gran Turismo. Me want Lavis, yeah. Me want Lavis as well. I think it depends, Passion Flame. It depends on what you want from a racing game, honestly. I mean, obviously, all the Gran Turismo games are more towards the simulator side. They're not full-on simulators by any means, but they lean more towards simulator games. Whereas if you're wanting something like Burnout, obviously, you know, you look for something different. I'm trying to think if there's anything like that at the moment. I mean, I know there's things like Wreckfest, but they're not exactly the same as Burnout. Alright, we go again. You got into Gran Turismo after playing A-Spec on the PS1. Sorry, but Burnout 3 Takedown on GT. I'll try to like it, but it's not for me. It depends on what you like in a racing game. For me, like, I love games where you can like buy a car, tune it up, you know, improve all the parts on it and everything. So that is like, I'm a massive car geek for that, so I love that kind of thing. I apologise up front for your TP. I'm going to be spamming Berserk. Thank you for the prior warning. Isn't Spirit Specials good for splitting slimes? I think if any third hit of a combo can split them. I can't remember if Spirit splits them or not. Ice is obviously the safest thing to split them with, just because Ice does no damage to them as well. Yeah, I mean, the main trick to split them with, if you're not a force, is to use the third hit of a combo will always split them, for sure. The more arcade over simulation, give me a big countdown at the top and some checkpoints and I'm all over it. Yeah, the risk with using traps to split them is sometimes the traps will kill them as well. Particularly if they're in their sort of pool state, sometimes the trap will instant kill them. So it is risky sometimes. Yeah, I've honestly never tried using the Spirit Special on a cast, actually, to split them. I mean, if you've got anything you want to try it, feel free. That's the biggest selling point. You felt like a car runner in Gran Turismo. In Burnout, you go silly with cars for fun. Yeah, to us, they're totally different games. They appeal to different people. I mean, obviously, if you like racing games, you're probably going to like both anyway, but for different reasons. Yeah, Heaven Striker is very busted. I've said it before, but like Gran Turismo was almost one of the main reasons that I got into Japanese cars in general. So I'm a huge fan of like Japanese cars. So Gran Turismo was kind of basically letting me live out, you know, what I couldn't do at the time, because I think Gran Turismo released when, I'm trying to think, it was about 1997 or 98, I think. So I will have been in secondary school, I think. So it was the way of like living out, like, I guess living out a fantasy of like these cars that I really wanted to own. N64 races you love were Ridge Racer and Top Gear Overdrive. I only played a little bit of Ridge Racer. I think I found a Disco of Liberator. That is certainly a drop for Ultimate. I did not even notice those lilies spawn. How did you not kill me? What is your favourite JDM car? Probably R33 Skyline. I have owned 2 JDM cars in the past. Oh, it was a box drop. Makes sense. Also, I like how I said, I'm surprised they haven't killed me, and then they killed me. Of course, it has Sky in the name. That's not the reason I like the car. Yeah, I really wanted to own an R33 Skyline at some point. And when I had the money to buy one, I couldn't afford to insure it. And then when I could afford to insure it, I couldn't afford to buy it. Yeah, I'll just touch on it quick because I know there's probably only a few people that are really interested. But the 2 JDM cars I had were, I used to own a S15 Sylvia. And then a few years later, I've just sold it recently actually, I had a DC5 Integra Type R. Oh, we've got another Cure Poison drop. Sylvia's cool. The Sylvia was very cool. It was also very unreliable. Skyline is a GTR now, right? Yeah, so the newest one, they changed it from being called a Skyline to just being called a GTR. And the Skyline is now like their, like, it's like a family sedan. I mean, it kind of always had been, there was always like a sort of shopping spec Skylines around, but you used to have like the Skyline GTR was like the top end sports one. But yeah, they changed out to just a GTR now. You want a WRX? You used to have an AP2. Oh, S2000. Got good taste in cars right now, cheers. I've also had a Mazda RX-8 because I wanted to experience a rotary and I couldn't afford an RX-7. And contrary to popular belief, it didn't blow up. I currently drive a ND3 MX-5 RF. One day you'll learn how to drive stick. Yeah, so I mean, in the UK, it's quite common to drive manual because the way it works over here, I don't know how it works in America, but or anywhere else, but in the UK, if you learn to drive a manual, you can also drive an automatic on the same license. But if you learn to drive in an automatic, you can only drive an automatic. So a lot of people will just learn to drive manual, so they've got the option. In America, they don't care at all. Friend has a Celica and an LFA. LFAs are insane. I'm also surprised how many people are actually like interested in cars. That's I did not expect that. You don't need a license, people just drive anywhere. GE2 simulation CD stream. You still want a Skyline? I would love one, but they're just way too expensive now. As is most of the stuff from that era. They are ridiculous money. Bought his wife a Ford Escort Cosworth in black metallic with a pink plush interior for their anniversary. She's owned it now for 19 years. I think if you ever get a car, it's going to be an old Uno or a Golf. I like that. If not, I'll settle for an A86, which are also really expensive now. Yeah, please, let's go, Red Boy. A Red Boy would be nice. But we're not getting one, I don't think. So apparently Rare in the Week only extends to ones that you're not really after. It's the PSO desire sensor kicking in again. That literally just double killed us. Pooly Slime is hiding. Also, you just reminded me about why everyone just calls it Red Slime instead, because pronouncing that name is almost impossible. What even is it? Pooly Slime? Red Slime is just easier. Did one spaceship run, no gold, I'm tired now. That's like me with SGS at the minute. I do one run, I'm like, oh, I'm done. Pooly Slime. Did we go the other way? I genuinely can't remember. I'm going to assume we did. Oh, we've not done the other way. I believe it's meant to be enunciated Poali. I think I'll stick with just calling it Red Slime and Blue Slime. Yeah, there is a couple more slimes in here. Not many. Also, we got a wild Disket of Liberator drop in the box. It's a French wine, I believe. Learn more every day. I kind of wonder if the PSO dev team were just like massive alcoholics, because I think most of the Ep4 bosses are named after various beverages as well. Jolly Rancher Blob is also another name you could call it. Delicious red 40 die, my beloved. There was a dev team of a foreign developer that had internal dev names for OSs named after booze. Gotta bail, but good luck with the rares. Charles gotta be done. Thanks for the runs and the awesome stream. Cheers, bud. Oh, no worries, Lazaro. No, thanks for dropping by as well. To be honest, we're about done with the stream anyway, so we'll be ending soon anyway. I'm not even going to pick that Disco Liberator up. I refuse. You say team points, but I mean, it's literally one team point. And we've unlocked most of the stuff now anyway. Give me, I need team points. I mean, if you want it, I can go and grab it. Please take it. Funny story about said Mustang. There was a group of chavs that had been driving around being obnoxious. As they went into a McDonald's, my mate pulls his Stang near them, revs the engine extra loud. All their alarms went off and they all came out running. The mate just sped off. Yeah, I know that when I had the Integra, I had to be careful who I parked it next to in a car park, because sometimes the exhaust would set the car alarms off of the car next to me, which is odd because it had a standard exhaust. Yeah, I might post a few pictures of the cars on the Discord a bit later on, if anyone's interested. I think I have done it before, but it was a while back. Supercharger could literally shit windows. It was like a jet engine. Well, no luck getting red slime anywhere, but I think we did pretty well considering there's no rare drop boost or anything. And we got plenty of rare enemies this stream, so I'm quite happy with that. So I'm going to jump back to the lobby. Very me luck ran out. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I mean, we did well. We got a few out of it, so probably get no more for the rest of the week now. I need you there for 3 response to show. We do, apparently. But yeah, I'll end the stream there for today. So for videos, there'll be a PSP2 video going up tomorrow for members. That'll then go live to everyone else on the Wednesday. There will be a stream on Wednesday, which I think is probably going to be another Monster Hunter World stream. And then on Sunday, there'll be the next PSO Law video, and then another stream, which will be either PSO, PSU, or episode 3. I haven't decided which yet. Yep, like LJP saying, if you're on YouTube, feel free to do the usual like, comment, subscribe, etc. If you're on Twitch, feel free to follow or anything like that, whatever you want to. You can also follow me on Twitter at SectionSkyly, and we do have a Discord as well that LJP has dropped the links to. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the stream, and I will see you guys on stream on Wednesday. And if not, there should be videos going up from tomorrow. Yeah, see you guys next time. See ya.